வணக்கம்.
வணக்கம் வணக்கம் சார், வெல்கம்.
Raghu?
Shall we start, sir?
Yes, sir. No problem.
Good evening to all. Greetings from TwinTech Healthcare Academy, Chennai. We warmly all the delegates for the seminar, and we also warmly welcome Dr. S. Nadarajan, Chairman and Managing Director of Aditya Jyoth Eye Hospital, Mumbai, as a speaker. He'll be talking on urban community services amidst COVID lockdown. Welcome, sir. Welcome for the seminar. Just I take an opportunity to give a brief information about TwinTech Healthcare Academy. The TwinTech Healthcare Academy is run by a panel of experienced professionals from various branches of healthcare, and it is mainly focusing on 5 divisions: healthcare division, healthcare education division, management training division for the students and working healthcare executives, management consultancy division, and the counseling sessions. And so far, last 2 years, conducted various number of healthcare academy training programs, seminar, workshop. These are the few list of programs. And thanks to various of my well-wishers given their wishes for the healthcare academy. This is Dr. Devi Chetty. At the time of starting our healthcare academy, they given a wishes for our healthcare academy. Dr. Devi Chetty, founder, Narayana Health Hospitals, Bangalore, Padma Bhushan awardee. Dr. D.R. Karthikeyan, IPS, he also well-wisher of our TwinTech Healthcare Academy. This is his wishes for Healthcare Academy. This is none other than my Guruji, Dr. S.S. Badrinath. He also Guruji of our speaker, Dr. Nadarajan. He is a father of Indian ophthalmologist, and he trained many ophthalmologists in our country, both nationally, internationally. This is a blessings from Dr. Badrinath sir for TwinTech Healthcare Academy. I had an opportunity to work closely with him over 25 years at Sankar Nethralaya. Thanks to Dr. Badrinath sir, he is our Guruji. This is a message from Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, founder, chairman, M.S. Swaminathan Research Foundation, Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan by Government of India. Our Minister, Dr. Harshavardhan, Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, also congratulated for our TwinTech Academy for its various training program in healthcare. Dr. Mani is a well-known nephrologist in India and Apollo hospitals. He also well-wisher of our academy. And this is his message for TwinTech Academy. He is my great well-wisher, Pro-Chancellor and Chief Advisor for Sri Ramachandra University, Chennai, Dr. TKP sir. Whatever I am doing, and he is the right time to guide me, help me for various activities in my academy. He is a senior most person, educationist, cardiologist. And coming to the today part, Dr. S. Nadarajan is a speaker for today program. He is a chairman and managing director for Aditya Jyoth Eye Hospital, Mumbai, president for OMAG, immediate past president for AIOS, that is All India Ophthalmological Society, general secretary, Global Eye Genetics Consortium, board of trustees for various organizations, including ICO, and he also board of member for RWC ISOT, and he also the president of Sankara Nethralaya alumni. Dr. Natarajan is a Padma Shri awardee. He is a senior most, highly experienced, 36 years experienced vitreoretinal surgeon in India. He is a third generation ophthalmologist in his family. He is a native of Madurai, Tamil Nadu. He has conducted so far over 60,000 vitreoretinal surgeries and 200 complicated vitreoretinal surgeries on palate injury patients. He trained more than 75 vitreoretinal surgeons across the globe so far. He is invited various guest lectures, both national, internationals, over 1,500. In his account, over 120 publications in journals, written many books, many chapters in various books, conducted various live surgeries on vitreoretinal cases, complicated cases. He done various vitreoretinal video presentations over 100. Recipients of various awards for his work in ophthalmology. He established an NGO, non-governmental organizations called Aditya Jyoth Foundation for Twinkling Little Eyes. It was inaugurated by our people president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He is a very close friend of Dr. Natarajan, and he is a good advisor for Natarajan, an ophthalmologist. He's most of the time, if any support or any query in the ophthalmology, he'll call Dr. Natarajan, ask what is his conditions. Through this NGO, Aditya Jyoth Foundation for Twinkling Little Eyes, screened over 70,000 diabetic retinopathy patients, over 60,000 children. And he also acquired Guinness World Record for his performing most diabetic screening patients, that is around 649 cases in 8 hours. So this is Dr. Natarajan and his various activities in the field of vitreoretinal surgeries. He is a man for vitreoretina in India. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for accepting and giving a talk today on this topic called Urban Community Services during COVID-19 lockdown.
Thank you.
And this is a topic Dr. Natarajan sir is going to give today. Over to Dr. Natarajan. He is with Dr. Kalam. He is with his guru, Dr. Badrinath. And this is a photo during his Padma Shri award from the President of India. Tomorrow is the Guru Purnima. On these happy occasions, I wish to thank all my teachers, including Dr. Natarajan sir, for a happy day. Over to Dr. Natarajan sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mahalingam. I think wonderful knowing you, and I'm happy we're all a Sankara Nethralaya family. And you have to stop your presentation, and okay, I can do that. So now I'll show my screen. So thank you very much for the opportunity. And last time I think I had a problem in something went wrong with the computers, all my computers. So today I'm happy. So I'm starting with I thought I just decided to show something what I've been doing for the past several years. So you're able to see the screen now? Dr. Mahalingam, you're able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are able to see.
Okay. So this is our team. You can see the mobile van. We can see the hospital behind. That's the private hospital. We have towards the driver's seat, we have Dr. Radhika, the CEO, Dr. Anil Kulkarni, the ophthalmologist, who is a trustee, and next to that is Dr. Anantharaman, the former Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, trustee. Then here, and we have Shamla Gopinath, who is the vice chairperson of our foundation, and then we have Mr. Bajaj standing there, who is a strong supporter for us, and Dr. Murthy, who is a cataract surgeon, and Dr. Asta, who is here but not in the photograph. And as Dr. Mahalingam said, Dr. Abdul Kalam gave this name. He actually visited us in actually in February 2005, and because he referred a child who had an injury to both the eyes, and then he asked me, "What do you want?" I said, I would like you to come and just visit the hospital and meet all the staff, and he did that, and he has come several times thanks to my mentor. I usually write emails to Dr. Badrinath, mentor, Dr. Abdul Kalam, who's no more now, but still I will always remember on Guru Purnima Day, and my second mentor, Dr. Raja Jovanovic. He's not an Indian, but I still explained to him what is Guru and what is Guru Purnima, and I sent a mail to him because whatever I am today is all because of the teachers, right from my school, right from my baby class to, so that's why I have my slide as, I always salute Mata, Pita, Guru, Mitra, and Mitra is my Shivanandan, he's my everything for me, who looks after me for everything. So our vision in the foundation, a society awakened to the basics of eye care and free of preventable eye diseases, making quality eye care available to every individual in a participatory system. And our mission, to render charitable services through a system built on society participation to ensure quality eye care to all. And this will include educational activities to highlight eye donation and preventive aspects of eye care. So we have touched about 8 million lives, mostly in the slums. We have now, I think this is an old slide which says about, we have visited 200,000 slum houses, we have enumerated them, and 70,000 slum dwellers have been screened for diabetes. And that means we are not a diabetic organization, but we did a project with World Diabetes Federation. So we checked everybody for diabetes, and more than, we have crossed now 2,000 eye camps, and 2,000 diabetics were evaluated for retinopathy, and World Diabetes Federation acclaimed our diabetic retinopathy project as one of the top 5 projects of diabetes care in the world. And thanks to our CEO, Dr. Radhika, and one Mr. Vaidyanathan, who actually initiated in 2011. But he had joined another NGO now. And our work has been highlighted in the International Corner of American Society for Retina Specialists, and thanks to my team. So we have 3 outreach centers in Dharavi, Kandivali, and in Mulund, which we do with Dr. Mahatme, who's a Padma, and also he's a member of parliament in Rajya Sabha. So we have, like any other hospital, this is the clinic which is located in Dharavi, which I'll be talking what we are doing during this COVID. And this is the clinic in Kandivali, and then this is the one in Mahatma Center in Mulund. And this is the team. We can see Dr. Asta, who's next to me, and the nursing staff, Dr. Ansar, who's right now in Jodhpur, and the team from Appasamy. We have the OCT angiography. We have got the retina surgeries set up there in Mulund. And we also do general camps, school screening camps for truck drivers, special camp for orphanage and other vulnerable groups, special camp for police personnel, pediatric camps in slums. And you can see she's a nurse who was now trained as an eye care person who does, right now she's doing the autorefractor, and we have optometrists doing vision check, writing the history. This is a school screening camp going on with a banner behind. And these are the eye camps for truck drivers along with the RTO, and also with the site savers, and special camp for orphanage and other vulnerable group. This was an orphanage from Gujarat, was brought by Elton, and you can see Dr. Radhika there, and also the Elton runs a gym as well as he also takes care of this, which is in the border of Rajasthan, Gujarat. He runs an orphanage. We did a special camp, and you can see that time the former Commissioner of Police, right now even the Government of India, we did a screening, and thanks to my friend who was the Commissioner of Police and Director General of Police, who introduced me to serve the police. So for police, we do totally free, where even today and every Sunday they are coming, and then whenever they come also, we take care of them. We have several projects called the CREAM project, Children's Refractory Error Eye Ailment Management Project. AJ Drums, thanks to the time Dr. Rajiv Raman and Dr. Kumar Manikwal, both from Shankaranathala, who is now not with me, but Dr. Rajiv is with the Shankaranathala, along with Dr. Kumar Manikwal, Dr. Radhika, and Dr. Sunita Mohan and team. We started the Ayatejos Diabetic Retinopathy Urban Mumbai Slum Study, and we have published. And now Dr. Asta is continuing it. We have PEARLS, Pediatric Eye Anomalies, Refractive Error, and Traumatic Lesion Study. And we also have handheld camera for mass screening for retinal diseases and glaucoma. This is to detect eye disease in children. And you can see the PEARLS project. We have our own van also. And this is another telemedicine screening. We have the handheld camera and also diabetic retinoscopy on the wheels. We have a YouTube video. The main thing is thanks to Dr. Radhika, who is the CEO, who implemented my ideas where I wanted the school dropouts like Nilesh here, who's now can take excellent photograph using the Forest camera, using the Remedio, the camera, and any camera you give him, you train him, they can do. And now we are happy along as an Ophthalmic Society and the healthcare sector, the Skill Development Corporation and Shroff Charity. We are making a 3-week program and train anybody who's interested to do retinopathy screening, because we have 6,749 villages in India, and our Prime Minister is addressing them at one go using the virtual platform. And I thought, here we cannot do virtual, but at least we can do teleophthalmology. And that's how, as the President of All India, I've introduced a program called AOS, Stop Blindness. Stop Blindness is an acronym coined by Dr. Radhika as a screening through teleophthalmology to prevent diabetic blindness. And thanks to the Indian Development Foundation, Mr. Narayan Iyer, who gave the idea, called this project as Jyot Se Jyot Jalao. There was a song in 1962. And in our foundation, we also have a research division called the Aditya Jyot Research in Vision and Ophthalmology, AJRO. And we have the objectives is to understand disease mechanism, to discover therapeutics, translate research to better therapies for human eye condition, and areas of research undertaken in diabetic retinopathy, inherited eye diseases, age-related macular degeneration. This is the photograph taken inside the van. We have the Zeiss camera, this is the Visu camera, we have the Zeiss laser. So Dr. Sunita Mohan and now Dr. Asta does the lasers in the van itself. And we are also the first in the world to use motorbike to use the screening. Started in 2014, thanks to K. Chandrasekhar, who the CEO of the Forest camera. We don't have any financial interest. We had a genetic lab inaugurated by the MD of Allergan, Mr. Raghunath here, and we have Dr. Vasudev Ginde, who gave us the place in Thane, and we have Dr. Sijita, who's the senior scientist who's there, and Shivanandan, who's that time was chairman of our foundation. Now he's our advisor, and we have Dr. Radhika there. And now the lab is shifted to a place in Chunambati. We also are in the process of setting up Mumbai Ophthalmology Reading Center for a teleophthalmology and telemedicine solution for inaccessible areas. And this is the research we have planned for genetic markers and age-related macular degeneration, Stargardt's disease, inherited retinal degeneration, age-related macular degeneration. And I'll quickly run through another presentation, which in case I just thought I'll give an introduction of what we are doing in the foundation. And the reason I couldn't combine all of them, and this you already saw, these are the various projects, and this is a lab which I showed. The idea is, this is how we also do, we take blood from the blood samples from the patient, and the idea is we want to use the development of teleophthalmology model for diabetic retinopathy screening, and the foundation is one of the forerunner and this is the motorbike thing which we showed, and this is the handle which we tried. We presented this in the American Academy and RO, and we also did this is other study supported by Allergan at that time, and this we also presented in the International Congress of Human Genetics in 2016. And we also want to do research through epidemiology, the reading center, and this is how the reading center will have the OCT, fundus fluorescence angiography, fundus photograph. And the reason is I'm showing all this because I have a big dream. And that's what Dr. Kalam said, keep dreaming. We want to work on stem cell research. We want to work on genetics. We have collaboration with several things. Right now, the Asian Eye Genetic Consortium has become Global Eye Genetic Consortium. I'm the Secretary General for that. And we had, with the foundation, we have an MOU with the Tokyo Medical Center and National Institute of Sensory Organ. He's the chairman of the Tokyo Medical Center, we signed the MOU in 2015. And after that, we had Dr. Siddhita, who went to the lab in Japan, headed by Dr. Takeshi Iwata, who is the president. And similar lab she has established. Even though we don't have all equipments, we have started small. And he's got a small 10,000 square feet space, but he has $10,000 worth of equipment, which is what we are hoping to have, and not only having equipment to do work. And this is the second biennial meeting of the International Society for Eye Research, which we presented. And we also have a MOU with the University of Pennsylvania for setting up the Ophthalmic Image Reading Center. And special thanks to the Diagnosearch, who has given us this place, Allergan, for the educational grant, and Vector for supporting many things. Now, I just wanted to tell this is the main talk where I thought with an introduction, without that only telling what we are doing in the urban community service amidst lockdown. I thought you should know what we are doing, and lockdown has brought a problem to everybody, and unfortunately to us. And the foundation is hit badly because we were working in Dharavi from 2005, and this is again, as mentioned, the first one, and which we already covered. And Dr. Kalam said, why not you put a twinkle in the eyes of the children? Because he was close to Dr. Reddy in Hyderabad, where he had the Little Hearts Foundation. He told, my friend, he did the Little Heart Foundation. Why not you do something like that? And that's how, when I went to meet him in Rashtrapati Bhavan, which over a conversation, he told his private secretary, who was an IAS officer, and he asked to discuss, and finally he selected Aditya Jyoth Foundation for Twinkling Little Eyes by just telling, put a twinkle in everybody's eye. And my father, who was also ophthalmologist, who always wanted me to do charity, because after my post-graduation in Government Ophthalmic Hospital, I joined Shankaranayathala, even though it's an NGO, but he said you should do some charity directly. So I started right from 88, I'm doing free eye clinic in Mahalakshmi Temple, in Siddhivinayak Temple, and then we started Aditya Jyoth Research Foundation. We did a lot of camps. Later, I started Aditya Jyoth Eye Research Institute and donated more than 1 crore to my good friend, Mr. Shankar, who is the president of Shanmugananda. Now it's called Shanmugananda Aditya Jyoth Eye Institute. So we come from what the right hand gives donation, the left hand does not know. So that's how we run our foundation, and this is our board of trustees. And a gift of vision. Vision is a precious gift that illuminates one's world and introduces the joys of the universe, which all of us enjoy and take it for granted. And that's what I wanted to tell during this COVID. It's not take for granted. Because of the fear of corona, people are not coming out. And I think people who need, whether it's a poor patient or a paying patient, they should go out taking all precaution. And we work for those underprivileged who are living in a world of darkness. And that's what I learned from Dr. Bajanath, and I continue that. This is our clinic in Ravi, and you see the Mulund Clinic and the Kandivali Clinic. Thanks to the donors, the ASG, the Goel Foundation, the Ratnagar Bank, RBL Bank, and then Shivanandan, who is instrumental in getting me, and Dr. Radhika for implementing with the team. And I have a wonderful 50 workers who are working, and whatever name I get is only because of the work done by them. And these are the services we do, and we have all the services what we are doing in the private we do. And now we are during the COVID, we are also doing the ophthalmic examination of the patient coming at the Dharavi Vision Center, providing quality eye care for various illness, adequate counseling for patients, and referral to higher center for OCT and fundoscopy, creating awareness about COVID-19 and ophthalmic disease in the community using telecounseling. And thanks to Mr. Sridhar, who was given a software called Helixon, who was developed with the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, and then which is being now used by Aditya Jyoth regular follow-up of the registered patients are taken by telecalling. And again, thanks to the leadership of Dr. Radhika, and I hope Dr. Deepika Roy, who's joined, maybe she's in the panel now. She and Dr. I don't know whether Dr. Radhika has joined. Dr. Asta can add if I miss anything. Conducting research studies on knowledge, attitude, and practice of COVID among diabetic patients, creating awareness about diabetes and management amidst lockdown, referral of patient to general physician if they are presenting with COVID-like symptoms. We work with a lot of general practitioners in Dharavi, streamlining the patient flow in the hospital by reducing patient care cycle time, minimizing cross-referrals, rationalizing investigation, prior appointments, and our average approximately 600 to 700 patients are being treated on monthly basis. During lockdown, around 200 patients have availed service in a month. So thanks to Dr. Radhika for starting the clinic, which we will be showing. I'm sorry, when I converted the PPT to, it just came as a patient flow and preventive measure. I'm sure last week when Dr. Malingam conducted, Dr. Mohan Rajan, and from Shankar and many presented on the patient flow, and we are following the same All India Ophthalmic Society guidelines, American Academy of Ophthalmology guidelines, and we have our own ITEJOT guidelines, we have NABH guideline. So this is our, we sanitize and the entire clinic regularly using the complete workplace, and you can see this is and the cleaning the entire optical store, optometric clinic thoroughly every morning with disinfectant before opening for the patients. And you can see the optometrist wearing the N95 mask, having the face shield, having and then this is the one on the blue suit. I don't know whether anybody can recognize, but I have to tell you, this is me. Shivanandan gifted me this PPE, which is a thick washable PPE, where I have the face this thing, but it's very difficult to wear the PPE and work. So I have decided, everybody, our founder, our manager, our trustee, Dr. Anil Kulkarni, the ophthalmologist, he was very angry that I should not visit Dharavi at this COVID time, and he says you should take care because we have to live long and make sure we guide all the people. So all the youngsters are working, and I'm doing teleconsultation now. But I wanted to say that I had guts to go, but with precaution. I'm not done. I'm wearing gloves. I'm wearing everything, and I'm totally covered. So I went there, and then when I come, I do all the precaution of I don't wear watch, I don't wear those things. And I went to the hospital, took bath there, changed dress, and came home. And again, I took bath. The reason is the soap is the sanitizing is the best. And then I have a 102-year-old grandmother at home, so I wanted to make sure that I don't carry anything from outside. You can see we do the temperature check and then the sanitizer, and I'm happy we are introducing the food control sanitizing shortly. And this is the beginning, the first day itself. We didn't want to do any shortcut. Hand sanitizer was used by the boy who's there. And this is the generating the IECBC among community through preventive guidelines, both in Hindi and Marathi, and information in their local language for the Dharavi patients. And there's a video in the YouTube. It is not playing here. And this is a handle which this is not taken during COVID. This is optometrist Zuhaib who took me. And I'm happy when I go to Dharavi, you can see our social worker who's now supervisor. Her whole family works with me. Her son, her daughter are working in Kandivali clinic and in the another Dharavi clinic. And they all live in the community, that means in the slums, and they know the people, they know the doctors, they know the Bombay Municipal Corporation people. So happy we have an MOU, the first of its kind, with an NGO and a public-private partnership where we are screening every diabetic in the BMC clinic. And this is our a word of gratitude. You can see right from CEO to our optometrist, and we have project officer Ashwini, then we have account assistant Dr. Radha, Dr. Asta Jain, Urbas, Dr. Rajkumar, Swapnali, and I think the list goes from, the entire list is here. And I put everybody's name. I think Dr. Deepika Roy's name is not here, and whoever has joined new is not here. So I hope Deepika will. The Deepika Roy, the last name is there. She is the project manager, and Prachi is another new optometrist. I'm glad all the people who are coming to the Dharavi clinic a big salute, because I think I know people at home will tell you don't go outside, don't go here. You are all coming and working in Dharavi, and coming to Aditya itself, only 10% of the staff are coming to Dharavi. Big salute, and please take care. And I want to thank you, at the same time guide you all the time. Be protected. And thank you very much. And I'm open for discussion. And I think the videos are not playing. I don't know why, but doesn't matter. And I think the whole idea is to tell what we are doing. And so I'm just, in case I have sent you, Malingam, I have sent 2 video links, but I don't think video is important, but it's important as discussion. And I see Dr. Asta Jain in the group, and who else is there? Dr. Deepika Roy, I don't know whether she joined. I don't know whether, so Dr. Asta?
Yes, sir.
Can you comment or say something? I think I forgot to show not forgot, I don't know, the Guinness record slides and videos not here. And then also our JAMA publication is not here. So I think that's why I need, in a way, like it's not a, what do you call, TomTom webinar. The idea was to do a webinar to say that I'm not working alone, and you're all, and you are one of the strongest pillar. I don't know whether Dr. Radhika is here. So can you say something? Whatever I said, you don't have to repeat. And a big salute to you during the COVID for working. And Dr. Asta has got twin babies, and still she's working day and night. She's available on call for me anytime, except she's not able to come right now. One day, I think she'll start after the COVID opens. So she's a vitiligo surgeon working full time in the foundation. Yes, Asta. In the meantime, any questions you can address, Asta. Yes, Asta,
And,
you can tell something.
Yeah, first, I thank you very much for your excellent presentation about your Aditya Jyoti Hair Hospital and community care, and kudos to all your team members and your supporters for these excellent services for the community, sir. And great work done by this, even during the COVID also in the Dharavi and other areas. And as a friends and the audience who are attending today, you must know about Dr. Natarajan. He's a flying eye ophthalmologist. He keep on flying various countries for various surgeries, complicated surgeries, and live surgeries in throughout the country. And due to COVID, he is stationed at Mumbai for last 3-4 months. Otherwise, he keep on moving. He will do one surgery in Malaysia, another surgery in another country, another evening surgeries at Mumbai. Even during the heavy rain in the blood area in the recent Mumbai, he floated. He is swimming in the road, and he done the surgeries midnight at his hospital for emergency surgeries. Kudos to you, sir.
Thank you. So I see my friend Ms. Khurshid Kurodi. She's a great person in the NGO field in the world, in the country and in the world. She works for a lot of NGOs, and she's my good friend. I think I see her. She has put a message, and I actually requested her to unmute and talk. But before that, I think Asta can say a few words.
Yes, sir. So I just wanted to add to what you have said. We are doing community services in the slums of Dharavi, and not only I would say in Dharavi, we have tried to extend our services to entire Mumbai by doing a combined project with the Bombay Municipal Corporation. That the BMC has various diabetic dispensaries wherein they are providing our services to all those diabetics for diabetic retinopathy, and we have been able to screen approximately 2,000 diabetics visiting these diabetic dispensaries. And we are also a forefront of the technology in the, and we are using the artificial intelligence now to screen patients for diabetic retinopathy. And I think during the COVID, that is going to be during and after COVID, that's going to be very important. The AI is going to help us in a better way. And during this lockdown, all these diabetic patients whom we had screened so far till now, we have been calling them up and asking them about their knowledge and practices about what they are following for the prevention of COVID and also management of their diabetes. And we are at the same time also counseling them as to what should be done and what should be practice. So that's I think a great job that our foundation is doing.
I think Khurshid is here. Khurshid?
Yes.
How are
Hi.
you? So,
Good. How are you? Can we see each other?
yes, we can see you.
Okay.
Dr. Mahalingam,
Yes, sir.
Khurshid Kurodi is in the line, and she's a great person in the field of philanthropy and all the NGOs. She is connected with several NGOs, and she's a well-wisher of our Aditya Jyoth Foundation and me also. So she is guiding me in a lot of things, and even last 3 months, I'm troubling her how you can help us in getting some funds for running the foundation. And she's also given me a lot of ideas for how we can work post-COVID, because all the NGOs are concentrating on giving funds to the Prime Minister for COVID, and we are also working during COVID. So, Khurshid, you can give comments.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for very much for supporting Dr. Natarajan and his services in ophthalmology. And I am also happy to inform you that Dr. Natarajan, in his name, having a center at the planetarium for NSS Eye Care Center for screening for all the children who is visiting the center at Chennai. And that also, okay, he is mentioning, okay, and this center is taken by Dr. Natarajan and his team. So all the exhibition about eye care and the screening by an optometrist, this all happening at Chennai. He is running on his own from his foundation. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
No, thanks to Shankar Netralaya for sending, and I know we are paying a meager amount, but they are sending the optometrist and running the clinic in my father's name. So I'm happy. So it's last 10 years we are running. Recently, Shankar Netralaya signed an MOU last year. Thanks to Dr. Sheila Jan, who's there, who's from the supporting through Shankar Netralaya Academy. And a reciprocal arrangement is we pay from our foundation to Shankar Netralaya for sending the optometrist. Yes, Khurshid.
And we need support from you for our community activities in the field of eye care. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So my contribution to Dr. Natarajan is trying to bring structure to the NGO and have proper verticals so that when we get the model right, we are able to scale pan-India and get a lot more organizations in to partner and fund, and a lot more doctors in who will work in rural projects, so that the sort of mantra of the day now with NGOs is scaling. Any model that works, how do we scale? So in order to get his model really sustainable and so that it survives long term, is first get each unit structured. So that's where I come in, and I'm doing it for several other NGOs, and I've partnered them with banks, and they do a proper audit. And then the funds become long-term, rather than somebody sporadically giving money and then stopping, getting all the right licenses, all the right compliance issues, which are really complicated in India, particularly if you're bringing in money from overseas, working with the FCRA license, which unfortunately his NGO has not been able to renew. So this is where I will be hopefully helping him. It's the first medical NGO I'm working with. I've worked with wildlife, women, children, with rural poverty in Bengal, near the Sundarbans, British NGOs coming into India. And I work with taking the companies in India and structuring them, growing them, finding the right partners. So we need to follow a similar route, so that everything becomes tightly structured, well governed, and he gets all the licenses he needs and the right partners to be able to scale across the country. And a lot of global money will come in if we manage to do that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for helping Dr. Natarajan and his institutions to eradicate the blindness level in India.
Yes, and we want all his soft and hard reporting, because if that can be fed to the United Nations, the impact he will have on global eye care. Impact reporting also very important. Running an NGO is a very specialized field. So we need to get the whole equation right. and then we should, have tremendous success.
Yes, ma'am. He is a man of
And
ethics and
my
a principled
father,
man.
who's
Yeah.
sitting here with me, also wants to
Yes.
say something. He's
Yes.
senior in
So-
charters. He wants to contribute.
Mr. Naushid Kuradi, welcome, sir.
Thank you, thank you. No, it's my pleasure. If you just for a
Yeah.
second. If you look at the way Tata Trusts are structured, they own 67% of Tata Sons. The dividends from Tata Sons flow into the Tata Trust, which then disburse about 2,000 crores a year for their various. I don't know if that structure is possible here, where your foundation actually owns 100% or 80% or whatever it is of the shares in the hospital, so that the profits of the hospital flow seamlessly, tax-free, into the foundation, which then has different verticals and different sets of operations. The Tata Trust model has worked extremely well for years. Yes, recently they got into trouble with income tax because of they did some wrong things. But if you must have read in the papers a few months ago, Srinath was appointed as the CEO of the Tata Trust, and we are cleaning it up. I just wanted to give you that structure.
Yes, sir. Yes, we will discuss that, sir.
Yeah.
Now, Malcolm, any question specifically?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Any question?
Yeah, one of our candidate and is a good well-wisher in the field of eye care. He has mentioned about what is the future of eye care in India.
What is the future? See, that is why I think we need private hospitals, we need NGOs, we need individual doctors. So this is what I remember during the when the Reliance came in the retail, as well as the share market when in 90, after that it crashed actually. I forget his name now. When they said all the small pan bidi shop, that's so-called the small shops all over India will be gone, they said. But even today, even in Mumbai, we have the vegetable fellow carrying it in the basket and coming home. Retailers are there. We have online vegetable buying. So I think we need a multiple type of care in India. So I think for future of eye care in India, one thing is great that I was leading the All India Ophthalmic Society. Now I am leading many other. I'm part of the International Council of Ophthalmology. Ophthalmology, we are the leaders in the world, and Sushruta started the first cataract and then the first eye hospital in Asia, not even China, was in Madras. That is the government eye hospital, started in 1819. And the first museum in ophthalmology is started in Madras, which is started in 1919. And luckily, the exclusive retinal center was started by Dr. Badrinath in 1978. He was trained. He was the first man to bring American ophthalmology to Indian ophthalmology. Later, everybody spread it. L.V. Prasad, All India Institute, then Arvind Eye Hospital. Everybody has contributed. But even though multiple hospitals come, I used to tell this to Dr. Badrinath, even one more comes in College Road, why we should be worried? Because we are going to serve people. Because we have 1.3 billion people with 2.6 billion eyes. Maybe somebody, maybe one eye, doesn't matter. But what I'm saying, so many people to take care, and we have 70% of ophthalmologists in cities and 30% of ophthalmologists in rural India.
Yeah.
The people of India are distributed in 70% in rural India, and we have 65% of population who are less than 35 years of age, which is a great. So we need, I think we are the leader both in technology and in eye care. But at the same time, research, we are not number one. We have to become number one, even though institutes like Shankaranayatla, Arvind are doing, Arvind, L.V. Prasad, I did to some extent. We are doing, but I think we have to do some community-oriented research that all the villages can be served for. And that's our. So, Mr. Khurshid, Mr. Naushir had suggested, why not we have an NGO called Blind Free India? Because the highest number of visually impaired are in India, and highest blindness also in India. So if you do eliminate, and I think the cataract surgery rate, we are now a good rate in the whole world, and even WHO and everybody says our cataract surgery rate in India is very good, and China has to follow that. And I think we are doing same population, but we are doing 6 times more number of cataract surgery than them. And we are also, I think, and Indian surgeons are innately, I think, well trained. The hands are good, and which is important. And that's where Ratan Tata Fellowship helped in from Sangamitra, where 6 weeks or 3 months.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sorry. I just have to add.
Yeah, go ahead, speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please.
You can hear me? No.
Yes, sir. You can talk now.
They can.
Yes, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. Please.
If you look at the development broadly of India's economic growth, it rests on education. And education has 2 legs, eyes and nutrition. Malnutrition, anybody in academia will tell you, is the cause why students do not excel in the way, the potential they can. So if you say, what's the future of eye care? The future of eye care is to be one of the 2 planks which makes education possible for all, the other being nutrition. Malnutrition, and this is not my view, this is the view of the WHO, and the report is very clear on this, that a child who has not got sufficient nutrition cannot learn as well as a child who is well nourished. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's the future of eye care. It's one of the pillars of education. And education is the only way for India in the long run to come out of poverty and become. The farmers are being educated today. I work with organizations which are bringing agri-tech, high-tech into the farming community, where people say at Sagunabag, farmers with 1 acre of land, half an acre of land, have tripled their income in 1 or 2 years by agri-tech. So it is a movement which is coming. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Natarajan, sir, is there? Dr. Natarajan, sir?
So eye care and malnutrition.
Is Radhika on this webinar with us? Dr. Mahalingam, Mr. Mahalingam, is he on? She on? Radhika?
Yes, yeah, I am here. I am Mahalingam. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Is Radhika on this with us?
Yes, she is on the line. Yeah.
Okay, great. And we've lost Dr. Natarajan, I think.
Just a few minutes. Ma'am, Dr. Shilajan, ma'am. Dr. Shilajan?
Yes, I'm coming. I have to. Yes,
Ma'am, Dr. Shilajan is a consultant at Sankara Nethralaya, over 30 years of experience in the field of eye care, and she is heading tele-ophthalmology and community services and e-learning part. Maybe madam, we can talk 2-3 minutes about her activities at Sankara Nethralaya.
Actually,
Ma'am, can you brief about our mobile eye surgical unit also for 2 minutes?
see, teleophthalmology as such was started by our chief, Dr. S.S. Badrinath. At that time, there's only, what we had was Indian Space Organization was the only one which was providing connectivity. So with the help of Indian Space Organization, he started teleophthalmology, and he was also the president of the Telemedicine Society of India. He formed the Telemedicine Society of India, and he formulated the whole thing. And he has been interested. I joined the department only in 2009 when we have mobile vans which go into in Tamil Nadu as well as in West Bengal, which go into the rural villages and examine the patients. And paramedical staff, their optometrists and everyone examine the patient and send the images. That is how it is done. Later, we went in for a cataract surgery van, cataract mobile van was developed, where cataract surgery could be done in the van. You go and station the van in the villages, examine the patients there, and cataract surgery was done. About 20 to 25 surgeries per day was done. The van was stationed in that village for about a week, and that's how it was done. And later, 1 week later, some postgraduate student went there to examine the patient, and 1 month later, optometrist went with the ophthalmologist, examined the patient, and the glass appointment was done. This model is there in Tamil Nadu as well as in Jakarta. Any questions?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Dr. Natarajan is again reconnecting. He will be coming back within 2 minutes. Any other questions? And thank you, Dr. Gori, for joining us. Okay, Dr. Gori is one of the well-known and experienced diabetologists in Mumbai. He also attending our seminar, webinar today. And I told Dr. Natarajan, and he also...
I joined.
Yeah. Welcome, sir. Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry. I think something went wrong in the net. I don't know. Anyway, I'm happy at least today I finished the presentation. Yes, you're saying something?
Yes, sir. Dr. Gori is one of the general medicine practitioner and a diabetologist practicing at Mumbai.
Okay.
And he also attending our webinar today. He want to meet you personally. Okay, he will come and meet you, sir.
Sure, definitely. Thank you, Dr. Sheila, for filling up.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question, Malingam?
There is no specific question, sir. And if there is no further questions, we can wind up. Any other points to be discussed by your side, sir?
I think there is one. I think Mr. Farhan Patiwala is also there. In light of COVID-19, what care will have to be taken by hospital, especially while doing eye camps and screening of children? I think for Mr. Farhan, I don't know whether you're able to listen to me. We have a guideline for community ophthalmology done by All India Institute and All India Ophthalmological Society and Community Ophthalmic Society of India, and they have advised not to do. Hi, Farhan, we can see you. You have to unmute, I think. So at present, I think we are not going to do camps, and I think schools are not open, and they have advised against camps in all the even in the Vision 2020 program. And Dr. Malingam, Mr. Farhan was involved with the Bihar Akhand Jyot Foundation Hospital in Bihar. So Dr. Asta is actually from Bihar. She is from Bhagalpur.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us and helping us.
Yeah, so I think camps will not be there, but I think we are also wondering, because even our doctors are concerned, because Dharavi was the hotspot, but fortunately it's coming down now. So we have to find a way, because even if you have to do tests for COVID or antibody and then take the patient for surgery, is going to be a problem. And Dr. Gori is asking, can we include screening of retinopathy as part of early detection? Yes, that's what Dr. Gori, I hope you can listen to us. We are doing that as a part of All India Ophthalmic Society, and we want to do that. And I think we want every diabetologist to do this as a part of diabetic retinopathy screening.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Natarajan, sir, can you brief 2 minutes about your community activities in the Kashmir? You have done a lot of services.
Yes. Okay. I'll show you some slides. I made it. I forgot to. I concluded it without showing it. Okay. You can see the screen now.
Yes, it's coming, sir. Yeah.
Okay, this is one of the. I have one more. I'll quickly show. So this is the one which I called it as reaching out helplessly to the pellet victims, and that's with that CM that time. And this is how they took me in for the Borderless World Foundation. Mr. Rishikesh Parmar, I hope he is watching this, and Dr. Asgar from Chennai. Right now, he's working in Nigeria. and Dr. Kenshuk is in Delhi, and the other doctor. So this is how Dr. Other one from Maharashtra, he also joined us, and this is with the CM office, and this is the hospital, and you can see the pellets, the victims, and this man was in ICU. The entire abdomen had pellets and eye in the eye. I did surgery under local. You can see the bodily bruises they have, and this is how the ward, and this is, all are between 15 and 21 years old, and this is me operating, and I start from morning to evening, and they had a wonderful setup thanks to the assistants who worked from day and night with me, and Dr. Tariq Qureshi on my left, and the dean to my right, and then Dr. Sabia, Dr. All the team in I think there were so many people working with me, and Dr. The 3 retina surgeons were there, but still when we went, they all cooperated with me, and that's how this is when we are going back, and this is I think one of the midnights, and so I think working in Kashmir, the road was like a haunted city, and
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I'm
for
just
your,
second, yeah.
work in the-
Quickly, I'll just go through the. So this is the various newspapers covering the my interviews with the, because they were all afraid to talk, and this was the NDTV interview, and so these are the, and then this was actually Hindustan Times, Asian Age, and even the all the this was in Chennai TV, and then Greater Kashmir. This is a New York Times, and this was the front page in August 28, 2016. Full, almost a full page article in New York Times, which was recently quoted by American Academy because of the rubber bullet injury happening in US, and that also happened in Chile. And then, so I think the idea is, I think the government also has to find some research in doing to prevent, and that's a video which was there. Anyway, I think you can't hear the video. So thank you. And I think even now, unfortunately, there was about 30 patients reported to with a pellet injury, which is stopped in between. And now again, they have about 30 injuries, I think. And we are already open for them. And whenever they need, we are there. But I hope we can prevent the injuries, and government has to find a way how we can disperse the crowd without blinding people, but at the same time we have to find way. And I think people also have to understand individual responsibility, because young people, you lose eye, you're going to be one-eyed. Better to have both eyes and work well for the country.
Thank you,
Yes?
sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much
Thank
for
you.
briefing about your Kashmir and your community activities.
Right. Thank you.
And thank you once again for all the delegates and the speaker and the visitors, and Dr. Sirajan and Dr. Khurshid and Mr. for your patiently listening various activities by Dr. Natarajan. He's a great man in the field of vitreoretinal services in India. Thank you once again. We'll wind up with
Yes.
our pressure.
Thanks
you
a
very
lot.
much.
And I think Dr. Malingam said he will put in the YouTube so that people can still watch and ask questions or send emails to us. Thank you.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
Dr. Natarajan also mentioned his email ID in the mobile number in his presentation. Anything you can write directly. The people who is living in Mumbai and other area, you can meet him also directly. Thank you very much. Good evening to all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.